So, yeah, I eat while I walk. Or I walk while I eat. So the extreme, I got my custard here. The extreme metabolic cost of being in ketosis creates, so if you take your REE, your resting energy expenditure, and you say 0.45 times your body weight in pounds, and say that's somewhere in between 65 calories per hour and 105 calories per hour, right? Now, when you're deep into ketosis, when you've been doing it for about a week, no more glycogen, right? Your body has to fight to produce that ATP. There's a lot of positive studies on creatine. To assist in that, with that ATP production. Just doing basic activities, you are already creating a metabolic deficit or a metabolic cost. So that's why I just ate 1,200 calories. I'm still walking. Even more so on carnivore, the blood isn't all in my stomach, right? It doesn't create this complicated digestive food constituent breakdown process, especially when you're fat adapted. You're working more like you're a big cat, like you're an animal, you know? Like there's a new animal in the jungle. That's what I was thinking before I went on this third live stream. And that is to say that I have never gained any weight back, but I seem to have gotten leaner and maintained my muscle mass, my lean muscle mass, even though I am 6 feet tall and a half inch. I weigh 158 pounds right now. And I've got a lot of muscle. Damn, that was good. I put that on top of the brown sugar swerve. It's kind of a bacony flavor. So when you are acclimated, fat adapted, and reliant on ketosis, you're never going to get the required energy that you need, particularly if you're creating, well, that's why I call this the back door to fitness. If you go on carnivore and you just start walking and you really meet those macro needs, and I'm telling you, you know, the internet thinks it's dispelled something where people have said in the past and then they stopped saying it because all these nutritionists were going off old, outdated information, and they were saying, you know, you could eat any amount of food when you're on carnivore and you're never going to gain any weight. And when people started doing that, they saw that. They're like, wait a minute, I'm taking in 5,000 calories a day now. And there's no way I would even want to eat the next 5,000 calories tomorrow, but I've not gained a pound. In fact, I lose weight. And the truth is that is the truth. When you break it down to your metabolic costs, there is never a surplus of available glycogen. So it's based on the nutritional term of being fed. So what happens is, if you were to go into a super compensation glycogen load and you are 100% glycogen loaded, right? Particularly if you're starting from a depleted state, your body's going to be able to store more in those muscle cells, right? In your liver and your blood system. And once you have hit that critical point, your body knows it. You will not be hungry for one more carbohydrate. And that's how in the old days, I used to use that, alternating that. So I would go into these long protein fasts, followed by a glycogen load, maybe once a week, every 2 weeks. And then that next day, I would go right back into depletion. I would live on whey protein powder. Nowadays, you don't have to do anything like that. It's very difficult. And this is treading in territory that could have other medical implications. However, instead of ever doing any sort of carbohydrate load, you deplete what little carbohydrates you have stored or available from a ketogenic state, and you start to rely on gluconeogenesis. Now, nobody's going to tell you to go into gluconeogenesis, and the truth be told, you're only flitting in and out of that. And it really is, I'm not going to say that this is a definite, but it really is catalyzed by exercise, right? So, but it's really a metabolic demand, but the exercise creates the metabolic demand. So one of those things is exercise acts as insulin. So that's why walking and going into total depletion states. So this time around in 1 week, I'm going to lose every bit of fat that I have, the small amount of fat that I have pocketed in certain regions, certain areas. And then I will be going back onto carnivore, not going back on in and doing a carb load, right? And I will return to a homeostatic balance by taking in large amounts of calories, which I'm doing already. So I feel better oftentimes. Like yesterday, I think I had 9 or 10 hamburger patties. That's very common when people are on carnivore. There's people who swear by that. I'm eating like a minimum of 9 or 10 hamburger patties, or like 3-4 pounds of hamburger meat, and they feel amazing off of that. For me, I pretty much have been sticking with beef and eggs, right? But if you switch over to a whey protein fast, and the secret is, this is the secret here. This is the second video on this little secret, not telling you to do it, but this is the secret. It's not just taking in a full scoop of whey protein or 5 scoops a day. It's about treating your body as if it's on a drip system, like you're in the hospital, and you're taking small amounts of the high quality protein every hour, not even on the hour. A lot of times I would do it every half hour. I would scoop 15 or 20 scoops of protein in a bottle and do nothing but that every day for months at a time. And not only was I shredded, I was closer toward 40, and people thought I was in my early 20s. So needless to say, it sets off that autophagy, and it does something really miraculous and amazing in terms of anti-aging that it can only be attributed to Billy J. Saley's Heal with Amino Acids and Nutrients that she came up with way back in the day. Was on the President's Council for Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. She came up on the information, and the secret is orthomolecular nutrition, right? This is why the supplement industry was slammed down. She met a brick wall. She came up with the most revolutionary information. She should be hailed as a hero, actually. But instead, she passed away several years ago now, and she slipped away into obscurity. And everybody is such a backstabber, and they're so competitive, and they all want to be first to the gate that you don't even hear her talked about. And it's a shame. But in infamy, you could say, her books live on. And you can read her research. Now, several of these things have been updated. Several of the items at hand, just like Rudin's work with flax and essential fatty acids, right? Where in the early 1980s, 1981, he made such claims that, finding the perfect omega balance could actually cure people who had unipolar, bipolar, certain fringe mental illnesses, right? I think he even went much deeper than that, but he couldn't publicize it because they were pretty huge claims. And he would see these miraculous things happen with people, right? For about a 6-week period, right? And then after that, there'd be a major drop off. And the reason being that we know now, according to Rhonda Patrick and a lot of the work that she states, and why her channel is so based on omega-3s, is it's those omega-3s that you've got to bolster. And that's what those eggs will do, right? If all you can do is eat those 5, 6 eggs a day, today I've had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've had 12 eggs. I've had 3 hamburger patties. So that right there is, I'm already sitting at 2,200 calories. So once I have this heavy cream, those are my 5 eggs actually. So this is it. This is 500 plus calories. I digress. So yeah, it'll be about 2,300 calories altogether. But I did have 7 hard-boiled eggs earlier and my 3 hamburger patties. So today is going to be another 3,500 calorie day, and I'm feeling like working out. I don't know about you, but this carnivore stuff, it's working. So Rogue Beast Warrior out, Rogue Beast Warrior systems, and as soon as we start showing those striations, that's when people start listening, don't they?